Welcome back to Diaspora Stories, and this is where we share stories home and away. Today we start directly from Sagana. Sagana, guys were called to State Lodge to eat rice and meat and beef. They enjoyed it. It was nice. The bite was amazing. But you enjoyed the meat. Have you ever asked yourself the same meat when you go to buy it in the butcher, how much is it? What are you going to eat that meat with? You need unga. You need at least paraffin, oil, and everything. Gas for cooking. Have you ever asked yourself how much you're gonna spend to have the same meal at your home? You ate it maybe or probably without your kids. Sometimes politicians have a language of a good tongue. They can entice you with anything, and the end thinking of any politician is how he can make you and use you to get a vote in the nearby future. So you enjoyed the meat, you enjoyed the rice, but was it on a daily basis or it was a one-day thing? That is where we, mostly the voters, we got cooked and we got used by the politicians. But I also ask myself this question: if this treatment in Sagana was only for the people in the mountain, what about the rest of Kenyans? For example, Turkana, they don't have a state lodge there. What are they going to eat? I think also the president should not be cornered in a way of such kind of thinking of cooking chele, waru and rice. We should come above that and know that he is a president of a whole.
We only want refunds and nothing more. We have had stories. I have had stories since I first paid my money, and I am tired of the stories. I am very tired of the stories. Hatukuweka hapo ndo wakuja tupigie story tunaweza pata online. Tumechoka, tunataka pesa zetu. Ningependa kuongelesha His Excellency the President of Kenya. Tafadhali, please fight for us. Uasin Gishu is burning. It is burning. The youth tunaungua, tunaumia, tuko depressed, tunahitaji pesa zetu. Hii serikali ilikuwa ya hustler. Sasa hustler ameenda ametafuta pesa zake hizo kidogo zenye amepata. Kama mimi nauza uji, nimeenda nimehustle, nimetafuta pesa zangu kidogo za uji za mandazi, nikuje nilipe, nijaribu kutafuta a better life for myself. Alafu mtu anakuja anachukua pesa zangu, watoto wake hawako Kenya, wameenda majuu, na sasa unanyamaza. Tafadhali rais wetu, usinyamaze. Kunaungua, tulikupigia kura, tunaomba utupiganie, na ofisi yako tupiganie kabisa, tunaumia. Asante.
Again, there's this story that is trending online whereby these students were conned about the Finland activity, and everybody online was talking about it. Sometimes we need to think deeper. Politicians are still involved here, and politicians will always do anything to make money from wananchi. And when you trend with politicians, your language must be different from them. But if you walk with them with their language, at the end of the day they will con you. First of all, you should not be able to pay sponsorship or scholarship. You know, when something comes in the name of scholarship, that means that you're sponsored. If you are sponsored, why are you again paying money to the county government? And if it was a school from international, like let's say Finland, why do you have to pay money through a county government? Why will you not pay money to the school that you're going to study? How many Kenyans, how many people from Africa are studying abroad through scholarship and sponsorships. Even if it's not sponsorship, how many people are studying abroad or their kids are in abroad, but when they got these chances, they didn't pay through a third party. They had to pay through or directly to the school where their kids are going. A politician will always come up with something. When a politician gives you money, on one way or the other, he must return or must get a favor from you. So in politics, nothing comes for free. If you score a deal with a politician, just know that on one way or the other, you must pay it back. That's how politics works. I'm not a political student, a political science analyst, but that is the language of most politicians. Having been in politics also for some time, I understand the confidence in this lady when he spoke with these leaders from Uasin Gishu. The lady had a very nice confidence. And what I can tell such a young lady who has such a confidence to face their leaders into accountability is that her future is not substantiated or is not determined by only going to abroad. Imagine she's saying that she's selling uji to make her daily bread, but that should not be the end of her. And Senator Ledama offered her a job, but she denied it. She asked her parents to be refunded back the money. What if the government are going to say we're not refunding this money? What are you going to do? That's not the end of your life. Sometimes try to think above and try to think to your future. Thus, coming to abroad or going to abroad is not the end of your life. You can still make it. And there are people in the same country there who have made it through doing the small hustles that they are doing. So you need to think above. You need to come out of that range of seeing your future has ended there. Despite of our politicians will always take advantage of us. Not all of them, but some of them will take advantage of us if you are not careful. That's why when you're told when you vote for these people, try and see, is this somebody who will care for my future and the future of my children and the future of the grandchildren of me.
Yake inaweza kufika 1000 tons. The man cannot express himself. When he's cornered somewhere, he goes back to Meru, to Njiri Njeke. Wa Meru ni watu wasafi. Watu wa Mlima Kenya ni watu wasafi. Na mimi nataka kumwambia Bwana Gachagua. Nataka kumwambia awachane na Martha. Martha sio rika yake. Martha is more beautiful than this man. Ya pili, wamepitisha ile LGBTQ, ile homosexuality. Gachagua, I'm not gay. Okanyal miyo ni nyama, ongemano. Uwinjo kosa kuwinjo. Uwinjo kosa kuwinjo. Kila siku anataja mimi. Ati nilikuwa naona Martha akitembea pale. A very tribalist man. Martha ruti kwetu. Kulikuwa na sufuria pale. Watu wamevaa sufuria. Tukajua ni Wajakoya Meru. Hapa tumekuja kulia. Wakati wile wanapiganga Raila, wacha niwaambie tu kitu kimoja ndio nikae chini. Baba akiwa hapa, mnamuona tu. There is a formula to look at this man. Baba is not a human being. Wamejaribu, saa zingine anatuanga baba risasi twa. Baba natani into nyangao. Askari anaenda mbio.
This man Wajakoya has got no chills when it comes to politics. Wajakoya just goes direct to the point and hits it the way it is. There's a way Wajakoya tackled this issue of police brutality. And sometimes people misunderstand or misquote Wajakoya. I like Professor Wajakoya so much because he calls a spade, and in his vulgar language sometimes, if you listen to him carefully, Wajakoya sometimes means sense. It's not about bangi. He preaches about bangi, but he never takes bangi himself. So Professor Wajakoya had some point. I listened to him when he was in Kisumu on a funeral of the guys that were being brutalized by the police. I came to realize that Professor Wajakoya is a man of is a doom of reason that most of people they don't understand him, but beyond there's a lot of sense. And also our politicians should avoid this kind of enmity in them. They eat together at the back of the scene, but they create conflict for us wananchi to fight. You know, at the end of the day, they shook hands. They meet in big clubs, they meet in big hotels, they meet in these airports when they're traveling on first class, and they still eat together. And you as a normal mwananchi and me here outside, we criticize each other, we disagree, we call each other names. At the end of the day, these guys, they eat together, they give each other respect in the name of honorable. You know, who is stupid here? It's you. Never subscribe to this channel. Take 2-3 seconds and give us a subscription as we meet on our next video. Thank you so much for following Diaspora Stories. For those who are following, and make sure you share and like. Let's meet.